Hello friends, it's me again. I want to do this video to my friends who have been watching my videos since I was on YouTube, and some of you might be noticing my focus on Islam more so recently than I was in the beginning. The reason for this is because I've been seeking the Lord on this and asking him, Lord, now that you have allowed me to be on YouTube, asking, because of course I ask his permission. There's no way I would be on YouTube without the Lord's presence with me. I ask him, where do you want me to focus, Lord? And most of you who do watch my videos, you know that I do a lot of Bible studies in the past, okay? And they were focused on the end times, biblical prophecy. Why is it important? This is why I believe the Lord is having many of us who are within the prophecy circles, if you like, where we are looking into the testimony of the biblical prophets and having a look and discovering that in fact most of these prophetic verses are regarding Islam in the end times. So is it any wonder, friends, why we are confronting this principality that is Islam and finding such severe hostility and resistance? Because friends, I believe this is the Antichrist spirit. You know, often when we talk about Bible prophecy, there's been so much misinformation out there, and a lot of it is unintentional. People mean well. And in the end times, as we approach the day of the Lord or the end of this age, a lot of us are, by the help of the Holy Spirit, are beginning to understand these ancient scriptures that were penned down by the faithful prophets, and seeing how the Lord in his amazing wisdom, you guys, was showing us the beast and the harlot of the book of Revelation. They're mentioned in the old prophets way before it was written in the book of Revelation, friends. So is it any wonder why we are having this clash with Islam? Because it is the beast, it is the Antichrist spirit. Now, there's some things I want to mention quickly. This isn't a Bible study. This is just a quick video, basically, to just, I guess it's like a reminder as to why biblical prophecy is important and in regards to Islam. I'm going to name some of these terrorist organizations, and if you look them up, notice what their goals are. Boko Haram, Muslim Brotherhood, Hezbollah, the Iranian supreme leaders. You know how the Ayatollahs are. Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Hizb ut-Tahrir, the ones in England. I know they're trying to branch out now across the world. Hizb ut-Tahrir, look them up. They're all about the Khilafah. Hamas, and you've got these, there are so many, you guys. If I could list them all, oh, do you know what? I'll do that another time. These groups have made it very clear, openly, blatantly declaring that they are against the West, they are against the Jews and the Christians, and they're doing this war, you guys, right before our eyes, and this has been going on for years and years. The only thing is, in the West, we're a little bit far removed from where it's really taking place. The intensity is in the Middle East, Africa and Asia, but it is coming and creeping into the West, and we have to be prepared, you guys. Also, another thing I've noticed is this anti-Jewish sentiment that has been out there in Islam way before it started in the West, you guys. Islam is inherently anti-Semitic. They're against the Jews and against the Christians, the Saturday people and the Sunday people. Why is that? Because again, friends, the Bible is true. The Lord has shown us through many scriptures that there are certain nations, I know I've said this many times on my previous videos, but it's important I reiterate it for those of you who are not familiar with my content. There are many nations, please hear me. When Jesus Christ returns, he comes to fight, to make war, and to do judgment. Now, there are certain nations that when he's carrying out these judgments, crushing the winepress in his fury and in his wrath, those particular nations are Islamic. There's one nation in particular that is mentioned in the biblical prophets, especially in the book of Isaiah and Jeremiah. This one, I'm going to give you one nation, is Saudi Arabia. And another particular location within Saudi Arabia, or the Arabian Peninsula, you could say, is Petra, Bosra. This is why I'm really trying hard to get hold of Dan Gibson, because he's done remarkable work on this, on Petra, the historical archaeological evidences regarding Islam and its origin. And we'd really like to talk to him about this, because there are several verses in the Bible that talk about this. So it's even more important now that we have this information that we focus on evangelizing the Islamic world as well as the rest of the world. Because remember, Jesus said, when this gospel is preached into all the nations, that's when the end is going to come. That's why there's such a revival in the Islamic world, friends. The Iranian people, they're having a Jesus revolution at the moment. It's glorious, it's wonderful, but also what comes with that is persecution, severe persecution. So I want to put this out there so you know that a lot of my videos are going to be focused on Bible prophecy and Islam. That's where the Lord is having me focus, and I'm going to be faithful to it. So another thing, what I wanted to say was this one world government. I've said this before, but let me just reiterate, friends, because of the information that's out there, truther channels and what have you, there is not coming a one world religion, a one world government. It's not happening. It's not biblical. It's going to be a regional empire that's going to rise up in the end times. And guess where the focus is? It's in the Middle East, you guys. So all this anti-American, anti-West rhetoric that we keep hearing in the West, we need to stop doing that, you guys. It's not beneficial. It's not helpful. What we should do is focus on the Word of God and ask Him, how would He have us prepare for what's to come? And it is coming, you guys. Now, the Muslim Brotherhood and Turkey, for a long time since the end of the Ottoman Empire, have been trying to re-establish the Khilafah. You guys, they plan these things years in advance. In 2023, this 100-year embargo that was placed on the Ottoman Empire when it was dismantled is coming to an end, which is why Erdogan is flexing his muscles in the region. You see, they are ready to take over regions and start to implement Sharia law. Now, what are we going to do in the West? Are we just going to sit back and just unawares let it come in and take over the West as well? No, we can't do that. However, what we should be prepared to do is to be bolder in our faith and really confront and evangelize Muslims, because many people within, let's say, the Islamic world, the Ummah, are coming to faith in Jesus Christ, and more of them are going to come in, because God is so faithful, He's so merciful, He's very patient. He's waiting for all of His lost sheep to come in, and He has His sheep within Islam. Absolutely He does, as He does with every other religion out there. All these religions, who's created them, you guys? Satan, of course, right? But because my background is Islam, I have a natural tendency to want to focus on my people. So some of my videos I put out before, they're very hard hitting. I know, I understand. It might be difficult to hear, but I do it because I feel the Lord leads me to talk about it. Another thing I wanted to say was this appeasement that's going on in the West. Now, the West is appeasing Islam. Why? Because Saudi Arabia is behind it. Saudi Arabia has the most control over the world. It's not the Jewish Zionist state Israel. If you really follow the money, it doesn't lead you to Israel, it leads you to Saudi Arabia. So let us be wise. Let's not be spoon-fed and think outside of the box, you guys. There's a lot more to this, and you'll find out as you start researching it for yourself to find out whether I'm telling the truth or I'm making this up. Another thing is regarding Jerusalem. Now, Jerusalem, and I don't want to get political about this, but Jerusalem is the main focus of the Islamic world again. You notice it within the BDS movement, right? You notice it when it comes to the Israeli-Palestinian situation. It's always about Jerusalem. Why is that? It's because Jerusalem is hugely significant according to the Bible, friends. When Jesus Christ returns, guess where he's going to rule and reign from? Jerusalem. So Satan is opposing this coming kingdom blatantly, and he's using Islam. Remember, when the dragon goes against the woman and the child, the woman and her offspring, he goes against them to make war. Now, Satan needs an army who's willing to fight for him. And this Caliphate is right there. This is the very army that's going to come against the King of Kings on that day. Of course, he's going to destroy them. So we need to really pray, seek the Lord. It's a spiritual warfare, friends. It's not a physical battle. We don't fight jihad like they do jihad. This is different. We're on a different level. We are not from this world, like Jesus said, as he was not from this world. We are his sheep. We do what he says. We follow him. So let us be wise like serpents, but gentle as doves. And my next video I'm going to continue with is the biblical prophecies of Ezekiel. And I'm going to show you in that book where Lord is saying that Jacob and Esau, the enmity that exists between them, is Islam. Islam is the most opposing force against the gospel, and it's going to be here to the very end when Jesus returns. So I felt led to share this message with you today, and it was actually another video I was going to do, but the Lord said no, put this one out instead. So I hope this makes sense to you. This is why there is such resistance, hostility. When our brothers are out there preaching the gospel, and also when there are in this within the apologetics and polemics, when they're doing this, they're confronting the beast. This is what I was saying in my last video, friends. Is it any wonder? Is it any wonder, you guys? So let's be prepared. Let's use our gifts. And let's do it in the spirit of meekness and gentleness. I totally understand how upsetting it can get. I get triggered as well sometimes, you guys. I lose my patience. I do. It's very hard, I know. It's very, the way they come against you and they attack you and they try to demean the gospel, Jesus Christ. You know, it's very provocative, isn't it? But we've got to remain in the spirit, you know, as best we can. Let the Lord work through us. Anyway, that's all I want to say. And I thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. And I'll speak to you again soon. Thank you. Please share this video. Thank you. Bye-bye.